Hello. In the last video I mentioned towards the end about not losing yourself and how that's a concern for me. I want to talk about that for a second. It's a huge deal. To me, it's one of the saddest parts with this whole mess is that we can and often do lose ourselves completely in the process of what's going on with the narcissist. We lose ourselves completely. And knowing yourself is, in my opinion, a privilege. And I've spent a lot of time working on that. Years getting to know myself. And I know her and I like her. And you know what? I went against her when it came to the narcissist. Myself, I went against her. And that just burns me the wrong way. And I'm trying to point it out because I'd like to save you anything that you can keep for yourself. I encourage you to do so. And for years and years and years and years and years and years and years in life, when you're 53, you have that many years, you go through life and you hear this story and you hear that story, or this person broke up because of this, or this person's boyfriend did that, or this person's girlfriend did that. And throughout life, 20s, 30s, 40s, you make sometimes real quick, snappy judgments, right? Or statements. She should leave him. That's it. No, period, end of story. She should leave him. Well, rewind 20 years if I ever said that. I didn't know anything about, well, maybe the girl's being trauma bonded. Maybe she's with a narcissist. Maybe she is absolutely in over her head and doesn't know how to come out of it. Now we learn all this, right? So you look back on all those statements you made and you think to yourself, here I am sitting in it. And maybe it's not even a narcissistic thing, but I'm saying in life that happens. We're people. You automatically form a judgment when you hear something. Whether you voice it or not, you formed some kind of statement about what you hear, right? When I think about the fact that I took many of the things that I said I would, the word never is a funny little word. I would never, not in a billion years, never, I'm telling you right now, never. That is a tough word. And that's why it sits so unsettled for me that I did tolerate things about which I had said never a billion times. And that is called losing yourself. It is called losing yourself. You pushed your own boundary far enough out to where you lost your sense of your own moral code, your own things that you would accept. In the past, you now accepted because of this narcissistic situation, right? And it is a special situation, isn't it? It just is. What happens in that kind of relationship is unique. Nobody can understand it unless they're in it. And I've made that video too. Friends may not understand why you're staying. They might not understand why you're trying to work it out, depending on how much you've told them or how much they've seen. But to get back to losing yourself, again, if you're in danger, you have to approach this differently, of course. And my heart goes out to you. It really, really does. I couldn't even imagine that kind of stress added to all of this. But in terms of losing yourself, take a little bit at a time. There's a movie called Runaway Bride. It's Julia Roberts, if you've never seen it. And Richard Gere figures out that she becomes whoever she's with in the movie. And at the end, there's a scene towards the end where she has all these plates laid out and all different eggs on them. Because he turns out, he's a reporter, that he asks all of her exes and she likes her eggs the way they like their eggs. So now she has all these plates in front of her. She's going to figure out what kind of eggs she likes. You got to know how you like your eggs. Do not lose yourself. Whatever the issue is, I made light with that, but whatever the issue is, sit in your own truth for a second and say, there are things maybe that you're doing against who you are that won't cause danger or turmoil if you were to stop them. It could be a little thing. And that might make you reclaim part of yourself It might make you get some strength back. It might empower you to say, no, you know what? Whatever it is, whatever it is. And yes, there's a fine line. There's a difference between compromising a healthy part of a relationship and doing what I'm saying. Losing yourself means you're going against the grain of who you are. I'm not saying, well, I don't want to go to football. Renee Flamand says I don't have to. No, that's not what I'm saying. If he wants to take you to football and you take him to the theater, that's compromise. I'm saying, or vice versa. But I'm saying, against the grain of your moral code, if you continually are doing things or accepting behaviors or acting in ways or bargaining away chips of yourself that you know you would never do in your right state of mind. And we talked about this. It almost is like a temporary state of insanity when you're in love with these people. They bring you there. So I just encourage you to step back a second and try little by little, just get it back. Just get it back little by little. Take little bits and pieces back to yourself. Next time he breaks a boundary, I don't know what you normally do. If you're still in it, try something different. Do not put yourself in danger, please. That's not what I mean. You'll know it when you think of it, because I don't know your situation. But I encourage, we cannot lose ourselves. We've all done probably a lot of work getting here, and you want to maintain your sense of your core, who you want to be as a person. You have to maintain that, because there's got to be something left at the end. Whether that relationship ends or not, there's still you in it. You need to have something left to deal with, to be a mother and a father or a sister or a brother or a worker, right? Think about it.